Hey, my name's Donny. I'm a licensed realtor here in the state of Georgia. I get asked a lot of questions all the time. Why did my girlfriend leave me for buying a filet-o-fish from McDonald's? Is it okay to wear my underwear inside out to save money on laundry? And the most common question I get asked is, what's the process of buying my first home? When do you know you're ready to buy a house? A lot of people get discouraged and say, I don't think I'm ready to buy right now, but they don't even know their position in the market. The best thing to do is to speak to a mortgage lender and figure out your positioning in the market. A phrase I like to say to people, if you know where you're at, you know where you're headed. This means you should always speak to a loan officer to review your positioning in this market. What should you have together before contacting an agent? You should contact a realtor as soon as you have the thought of buying a home. They can recommend you reliable loan officers that's going to make sure this transaction is as smooth as possible. You don't want your finances falling apart when you're halfway through getting your dream home. A lot of people click on websites like Zillow or Trulia and contact a realtor and say, I want to buy that house. That's kind of like going to the mall without knowing how much money you have in your pocket. Realtors like me are looking for a pre-approval letter before we even start taking you out to view homes. And this is because we want to make sure we're not wasting your time or our time. We want you to look at homes that are within your budget and in the areas that you're looking for so you can find the best possible house for your family. How long should you expect the home buying process to be? Well, everybody's different. With people who have all cash to buy a home, you can do it as soon as 2 weeks. For others that need to get a loan, it could be as early as 28 days. Two things are gonna happen when you speak to a loan officer, realistically. One, they're gonna tell you need to work on your credit, you need to save more on a down payment. Or two, they tell you everything looks good and they're gonna give you a pre-approval letter and we're gonna get started on looking for a house for you. Things when you're, a loan officer is typically gonna look at these things when you're applying for a loan application. Your income tax for your last 2 years, pay stubs from the last 30 days, run a credit check, a copy of your driver's license, and a copy of all assets being used to purchase this home. Donnie, what if I don't have any pay stubs or a job? Well, my friends over at Indeed can help you out. I'm just kidding. But seriously, there are different loan types for everybody and you don't have to have all the requirements that I just listed. Later on, we're gonna go through the 4 common types of loans. Welcome back to another segment of House News. I'm your reporter, Donny Solder. Let's get into the 4 common types of loans. The USDA loan. Down payment's generally gonna be 0%. You're gonna have to pay private mortgage insurance and you only qualify in areas that are USDA qualified. Number 2, the VA loan. The requirements for this are widows of veterans who have died of service-related injuries, active duty personnel who have completed at least 90 days of active wartime duty or 180 days of active peacetime duty, or former active duty personnel who were honorably discharged after servicing at least 90 days of active wartime duty or 180 days of active peacetime duty. Your down payment's gonna be 0%. There's no private mortgage insurance and all areas can qualify. The FHA loan. Down payment is estimated around 3.5%. You're gonna have to pay private mortgage insurance and all areas can qualify. And we have your conventional loan. Down payment's gonna be around 10 to 20% estimated. There's no private mortgage insurance for 20% down payments and all areas can qualify. What's the best type of mortgage for who? You're gonna wanna speak to a mortgage lender and get that pre-approval letter. They're gonna analyze your tax returns, run your credit, look at the down payment that you have, and recommend you the best loan type for your situation in this market. For people who are discouraged about if they're ready to buy a home or not in this market, let me give you a story. I was smoking a cigarette outside of one of my local Chili's and bumped into a good friend of mine from school. He was discouraged, didn't feel like he was ready, but he was determined to work with me to buy his first house. After speaking to a mortgage lender, we found out that his credit wasn't where it needed to be. He didn't have quite enough for his down payment that he was looking for. So with that information, he worked hard on fixing his credit, followed the steps that the loan officer told him to do, and started saving money. Within 2 years, he came back to me and we started house hunting. It took us 2 or 3 months because he wanted to find the perfect home for his newborn child and his wife. Negotiated repairs that were needed, ensuring that it was a safe home for him and his family. We found the best position for him. He's living there today, happy that he has a backyard now instead of living in a small apartment, happy that he's building equity and he knows what he's paying towards every month.